Hey, full spectrum laser Muse owners. This is Dave. I've got a little quick tip for you. I know a bunch of us are sharing tips back and forth, so here's one of my contributions to the thing. So I've been engraving and laser cutting Ohio-shaped coasters for a while now. They sell pretty well in my Etsy shop, and I've got this is one of the boards I just did, and so I've been doing maple, cherry, and walnut, and these cut really nice on maple. But if you use the billet that came with the Muse, it's a 6.8 millimeter billet for focusing. That just focuses to the surface. It doesn't focus to where you actually need to cut. So the way the laser focuses is like an hourglass shape, and that sweet spot you want to be in the middle of this material, and this is 3/16 material. So I resaw this and make thin stock myself in my own wood shop. So this is 3/16. I can make it any thickness I want, but 3/16 works pretty good for coasters, and it will cut through 3/16 material, but you got to get that sweet spot down to the center. Otherwise, you don't get it to cut all the way through. And this is 2 passes at 20 speed and 100% power, and it still didn't cut through the 16th material. If I slow it down to 10, I get burning on the outside that I don't want. So what I've come up with, instead of using the billet that full spectrum laser provides for you, this one 6.8 millimeters, I've actually created my own spacers, my own focusing spacers. So I've got 5.2 millimeter, 3.4, 2.8, and 2.7. 2.7, that was going to get sanded down to, I think, 2.4. I may do a 3 in here too, but these are a little thinner. Matter of fact, this one's about half of what this is. So using this material, I will put it on top, and then I will focus my material to that thinner piece. And what that does is it takes that sweet spot and it puts it further down the side so that you get good cutting. So this maple one just popped right out when I got finished, and so did the cherry and the oak. So the walnut, I think, I'm not really sure why it didn't, but it did do something that I still can work with. And basically, it's kind of like what you call onion skinning. Is you still have to see the lines on the back, but it doesn't pop out. So I just take this over to my workbench, put in 80 grit sandpaper into my random orbital sander, and I will sand this down until all these lines come out like this. And then I will go up my grits 80 to 120 to 180. Or 220, depending on what I have. And then these all should pop out. I've got to sand this anyway because of the burn marks on the front. I want to get rid of the smoke marks. Now, I have cut these with mask, and I usually use mask when I do engravings to get rid of the smoke, or when I do color fill. But I've done it both ways, and I've got to sand these anyway before I finish them. So might as well just put these in here and sand it off. Now, if I do a raster and a vector cut, I will definitely put mask over this, but there's no need when I'm just cutting. The customer that bought these just wants them plain, and he wanted the 4 different woods, and these are kind of popular with some of my friends. So that's just a quick tip on focusing and onion skinning, where you sand that out and it pops out. So this isn't wasted material, even though it didn't burn all the way through, but it's nice to actually have it burn all the way through. So that's why you do the focusing with the different sizes. So next time I'll probably do like a 3 millimeter spacer for walnut. And all of these are logged into a log, so that next time when I cut this wood, I know what I have to use. My settings are going to be different from your machine because all the machines burn at different rates. The CO2 lasers, nothing's constant about them, so you got to play around with your settings. So I do a lot of burn tests. So you can see like this one's 40 speed, 100 pass, or 100 current, 100 power, and that was 2 passes. It cut it right out. It took a minute. This one's 10 speed, and I got a lot of burning around this one. I didn't like it at all, and it kind of went through. I could pop this out pretty easy, but still 28 seconds longer to do 1 pass than it is 2 passes at 1 minute with less speed, or with more speed and the same amount of power, 2 passes. So this is how you get your settings. You log these out. It would be really nice to have a materials test like the old the Generation 5 Hobby laser software had. But this is how I do it. So 8 is definitely too much. It's burning, and it takes a lot longer than just doing 2 passes with the higher speed. So that's just a little tip that I've found out. Keep sharing your tips. Muse owners, we could definitely learn from each other. And if you've got any advice on this, let me know. Thank you for watching.